Hello, and welcome to Truth or AI. Tonight you will hear three tales that will blur the lines between reality and imagination. Two stories are based on real-life events, and one is complete fiction. Can you tell the difference? Let's find out. Let's get started with our first tale of the evening. This one is about a pilot who saw something he was not intended to see.
Michael Thompson was an aspiring pilot with dreams of joining the Air Force. He flew regularly and was very comfortable in the cockpit. On October 21st, 1978, he embarked on a solo flight from Melbourne to King Island. During his journey, he reported a strange metallic craft with green lights orbiting above him to air traffic control. As he continued on, it was apparent that the light was following him. His voice grew increasingly anxious as he described the object's erratic movements. During a transmission, Michael was heard saying the light was closing in on him. He began to speak again and sounded frantic when his transmission cut off. His radar signal also vanished. An immediate search and rescue mission was initiated by the Coast Guard. Despite challenging conditions, divers were sent down to search for any signs of suspected wreckage in the rough seas, but no trace of Michael or his plane was ever found. His disappearance is an enduring mystery that to this day has not been solved. Some suspect a weather phenomenon, others suspect military testing, or even aliens. Until wreckage or Michael are found, we may never know.
Interesting. Strange lights in the sky, huh? I'm not sure about that one. Next up, we have a story about someone who was left in isolation and it did not end well.
Samuel Green was a seasoned lighthouse keeper on a small, remote island in the Great Lakes. He spent the majority of his time on the island alone, and as a writer enjoyed the peace and quiet. Samuel kept meticulous daily records in his personal journal. He documented everything: sunrise and sunset, temperature several times a day, what he ate and when, his sleep patterns, and even when he found random debris washed ashore. On Christmas Eve of 1969, the lighthouse was not lit, and Samuel could not be reached on the radio. This was brushed off as he was probably busy working on the issue. There were no ships scheduled in the area that night, and Samuel was very experienced, so they decided to wait before intervening. When dawn was approaching and the lighthouse was still not lit, it was feared something may have happened to Samuel. Two men were sent to the island to check on Samuel, and what they discovered was very disturbing. They immediately noticed several strange formations made of rocks, almost like small pillars on the shore. They also saw unexplainable burn marks in the sand and grass. As they searched the small island, no sign of Samuel was found. They did, however, find his journal. In the fall of 1969, Samuel began documenting strange occurrences: flickering lights in the distance, unexplainable noises, an eerie sense of being watched, and a sulfur-like smell. He never once mentioned any of this during his daily radio check-in. The entries grew more and more paranoid as the days passed, and Samuel stopped documenting almost a week before the lighthouse was unlit. Despite extensive searches, no sign of him was ever found, and the lighthouse was eventually abandoned. Samuel's disappearance was labeled as accidental drowning, but with no evidence. It remains an unsolved mystery.
What do you think of that? Was there something sinister that got to him? Or was it just his own mind getting away from all of that time spent alone? We have one more tale for you tonight. This one is about a melody in the distance.
In the 1980s, in a small coastal Oregon town, Jack Turner heard a distant, eerie sound resembling a flute. Initially, he brushed it off as wind, but the sound could be heard off and on for weeks. The sound slowly grew stronger, and a few others began to notice it. Over time, more and more townsfolk began to hear the haunting melody, but the source could not be identified. After several months, skeptics began to hear it, and prominent figures in the town started to acknowledge it. The sound became stronger with each day, but was still in random patterns. Over time, this sparked great unease. Some said the sound was deafening, and others only heard a faint noise. The source could not be located, and speculation grew. Townspeople started throwing wild accusations around, even threatening violence against each other. Then, one night, an intense and powerful storm rolled through town. People could see the destruction only through the flashes of lightning. They knew it was bad. When the morning came, many structures were completely destroyed, and unfortunately, several lives were lost. But the sound was never heard again. People have since speculated on various theories. Some thought it was a natural phenomenon like wind through caves. Others believed it had to do with underground seismic activity, and some even suspected a connection to the town's spiritual history. Despite the research, the true cause remains a mystery, leaving everyone to wonder what had truly happened.
What did you think of that one? Natural occurrence or something supernatural? Tonight was a tough one. Ready to dive into the truth? Story 1. The disappearance of Michael Thompson. This was based on true events. It's based on the disappearance of Frederick Valentich, who vanished during a flight over the Bass Strait in 1978. Story 2. The vanishing lighthouse keeper. This one was also true. It's based on a real-life mystery about the keepers who vanished from the Flannan Isles lighthouse off the coast of Scotland in December 1900. It is suspected that all three of them were washed to sea during an intense storm. Story 3. The haunting melody. Fake. We totally made that one up. Thank you for listening tonight. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified when our next episode is available. On behalf of the team, I'm Aidan Cross. Good night.